Hey guys, this is lesson 6.9. We're starting on page 440 because page 439 is the one that you do with the bear. And it's using mental math, and we're not using mental math for this lesson. So I didn't want to confuse you because we need to learn this new formula. So we're skipping that today. Sometimes you'll regroup more than once in a subtraction problem. So yesterday we learned that sometimes we don't need to regroup in the ones place, but we need to regroup in the tens place. And then you have to use the hundreds place for that. However, today we're going to learn that sometimes you have to regroup twice. Sometimes you have to regroup in the ones place and the tens place, okay? Which then you'll have to regroup in the hundreds place. We have 725 minus 349. They give you this example problem. We always start with the ones. There's more on the floor, so we have to go next door and get 10 more, okay? So whenever this happens, this becomes a 1, and this becomes a 15, right? Because we take one away and put it over here. But if there's a 1 up here, 1 minus 4, oh, there's still more on the floor. So we've got to go next door and get 10 more, okay? So then this becomes 11. We just carry one over. We go next door and we get that one more and we add it over here. This becomes 11. And then we take one away from the 7 and it becomes 6. So then we have 15 minus 9, which is 6. 11 minus 4, which is 7. And 6 minus 3, which is 3, okay? If you need to, you can always just write these out, okay? So that's why we're crossing them out. We can say 15 minus 9, okay, that's going to give me 6. 11 minus 4, and write your answer there. And then 6 minus 3, okay? Because sometimes I know it can get confusing with the numbers that you cross out. Let's come down to the bottom here and do a couple example problems. You're going to solve, you're going to write the difference. 421 minus 138. Okay, we always start with the ones place. More on the top or more on the floor? More on the floor, so we've got to go next door and get 10 more. When this happens, this becomes a 1 and this becomes an 11, right? Because 1 less than 2 is 1. But we had to do something with that 1 we took away. We put it over here in the ones place. So now I have 11 ones and 1 10. Okay. So now I go to solve this problem. 1 minus 3. I can't do that because there's more on the floor. So I've got to go next door and get 10 more. When this happens, this becomes a 3 and this becomes an 11. Okay. We can just add the 1 over there to that, like that. So now I can do this problem, 11 minus 8, 11 minus 3, and 11 minus 1, okay? 11 minus 8, 8, count up to 11, 8, 9, 10, 11. We get 3. Well, if 11 minus 8 is 3, 11 minus 3 is 8. 3 minus 1 is going to give me 2. So my answer is 283. Let's look at the next one. 274 minus 182. More on the top or more on the floor? More on the top, no need to stop. 4 minus 2 is going to give me 2. Okay, however, when you come over here to this one, 7 minus 8, is there more on the top or more on the floor? More on the floor because 8 is bigger than 7. So we have to go next door and get 10 more. When we do that, this becomes 17 and this becomes 1. Remember, we didn't touch this over here, so we only have to go next door once. 17 minus 8 is 9 and 1 minus 1 is nothing. So my answer is 92. Okay. Let's come over and do number 3. More on the top or more on the floor? 7 is bigger than 6, so it's more on the floor. So we've got to go next door and get 10 more. This becomes a 3, and this becomes 16. Okay. 16 minus 7 is what? 9.
Teachers, may I have your attention, please? I will be sending a 2-hour delayed PE schedule in an email within the next 10 minutes.
Okay. Then we have 3 minus 6. We can't do that because 6 is bigger than 3. We have more on the floor. So we got to go next door and get 10 more. So when that happens, this becomes 13. Now you can cross this out and write 13, or you can just add your little 1 there, whatever makes the most sense to you. Then this becomes 4. So we have 13 minus 6, which is 7, and 4 minus 2, which is 1, 2. Okay. Do 4, 5, and 6. Try those on your own, okay? I will say you are going to go next door and get 10 more for this one. So you'll have something in all 3 of these boxes. This one you won't. This one you can do 8 minus 0, so you'll just have to go next door these 2 times, okay? So pause this to finish those, then turn the page to 441, okay? Don't want you to do number 16. Go ahead and put a big X on 16. Okay, I want you to turn the page over here, and I don't want you to do number 17, okay? But I do want you to do number 18. So write with me right now. It says there are 471 children at Caleb's school. 256 children ride the buses to get to school. How many children do not ride the bus? So this is all we do. We subtract 471 minus 256. Okay. And all we have to do is go next door once, because then this will be a 6, because 1 less than 7 is 6, and we can do 6 minus 5. So then you'll have that problem. Miss Harrell had 427 pine cones. She gave 249 pine cones to her children. How many pine cones does she still have? We just subtract these, because we take what she had, we subtract what she gave to her kids, and we're good there. So for this one, you are going to have to fill in 3 boxes. So go ahead and make sure that you have these now. Pause to do so. Flip back to page 441. Okay. Let's do the first one again. 342 minus 138. More on the floor because 8 is bigger than 2, so we've got to go next door and get 10 more. This becomes 12. This becomes 3. Okay, now you can do this problem because you can do 3 minus 3. We don't have to go next door again. Okay, same thing with this one over here. 3 minus 1, 6 minus 8. We don't have to go next door here because we can do 3 minus 1. However, we do have to cross this out, make this a 16 and this a 3. Okay. Go ahead and finish these problems on your own, okay? And then you can do the practice and the homework. Turn to the practice and homework now, and I'm going to go ahead and pull these out here of your subtraction problems for you. Mia's coloring book has 432 pages. She has already colored 178 pages. How many pages are left? 432 minus 178. Okay, so then you just subtract regularly. Draw quick pictures to show how to subtract 546 from 735. This is all you have to do. 735 minus 546. And then solve, okay? After you finish these, you're finished for the day.